What is up, my splitches? Happy Tuesday. Happy almost week 10. We're into the double digits. Thank God. We are cruising along here in the greatest season of the NFL ever. We're going to have Marc Sessler coming on the show in a little bit to join us. He's going to talk about what's on his radar, air some grievances. By the way, I'm Colleen Wolfe, hanging out with Erica Tamposi, who's always here. What up, Ricky?
Hey. How are you? How was your weekend?
It was great. There's a lot to discuss here.
Okay.
I had a maintenance day on Saturday, which was really nice, much needed. But I just need to know, why do you hate White Lotus so much? Caught my eye last night.
Right off the top.
There was a lot going on. I was watching the game. I was getting ready for this podcast. But then I saw that cross my timeline. As soon as the game ended, also the timing of that was interesting. Was that on purpose just to get the most traction?
Yes, definitely, 100%. So I'm a professional, and I do my job the way I'm supposed to, right? So at halftime, I was sick of watching the Bears and Steelers. So I switched to the finale of White Lotus because, that's what a good professional, and I'm a journalist at heart, But listen, okay, I knew you were going to bring this up.
Okay.
White Lotus, everybody was saying, this is the best show ever, this is the best show ever. I watched the finale last night. I put up an Instagram post, and I was like, hey, it was fine. I got all the subtleties, got all the nuances. It's fine. It's great character work. But it wasn't the best show. Why was everyone freaking out? And I have receipts, Colleen. I have so many people in my DMs. Our friend, my manager, Kristen Sugden, said, you're right, Erica. You're right.
What?
She said she agreed with me. She said, it's fine. It's not great.
Splitties, let us know.
Splitties, let us know
what did you think of White Lotus?
So I think it's fine. It's fine.
I think Jennifer Coolidge was incredible in it with her mom's ashes, all of the mishaps. I can't stop thinking about that scene when she's throwing the ashes and she's in the water. Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad we got that out of the way. It was weighing on me a little bit. By the way, you're completely wrong. So just letting you know about that. But as we were sitting here taping this podcast on Tuesday morning.
Yes.
There is some news coming across the wires. That's what they used to say, Erica. Before you were born, I think. Aaron Rodgers is back on Pat McAfee's show.
Again? We didn't even get a week to recover.
I know. And it really was. He's dropping bombs again. So I just want to play this for you in case you didn't hear it yet. Hit it.
Decision that was in the best interest based on consulting with my doctors. And I understand that not everybody's going to understand that necessarily. But I respect everybody's opinion. Go ahead. You got a question?
Yeah, the doctors that you consulted with. Dr. Joe Rogan and which other doctors?
Look, I have a lot of admiration for Joe. I definitely talked with about a dozen friends of mine who dealt with COVID, and they all were very helpful in different ways, Joe being one of them.
What?
So your friends are doctors?
Wait.
Had COVID? I'm confused because I'm just not sure. Consulting with my friends would be like calling you if you had COVID. It's hey, what'd you do, man?
Hey, you better cough a lot. Get it out. Better out than in,
That's true. Hard to argue that.
That doesn't make sense. Our producer, Aaron, he is he's obsessed with Aaron Rodgers, agrees with everything he says, right, Aaron, or no?
Close, but the main thing I wanted to point out, because you can only hear the audio, but Aaron Rodgers is wearing a Star Wars Rise of Skywalker hoodie. Ooh. And I've consulted with my doctors and at least a dozen of my friends, and that is a bottom 3 Star Wars movie, and by no means something he should be flaunting if he's trying to show off in this interview.
Yeah, so this is a double L for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is out of control. State Farm is backing him. He didn't lose a ton. He's complaining about cancel culture, and no brands have really dropped him besides his health partnership. I don't know, something to track. I feel like it's a little ridiculous. I'm throwing the taunting flag on this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's too much.
You and every other ref in the league, apparently. Aaron Rodgers, he said, I'm an athlete. I'm not an activist. I'm going to go back to doing what I do best, and that's playing ball, which it's hard to argue that. That is what he does best.
Right, but he hasn't been able to do that because he lied to everyone about, being vaccinated.
He will say that he didn't lie, that he just said he was immunized, but if we had asked the correct follow-up questions, then we would have the information we needed. So it's our fault.
Oh, that makes sense. That's like me not watching the second half of the Bears-Steelers game. I could be I watched the football.
That's
Didn't
right.
Watch it. Didn't
You
watch
missed
the
you
end.
missed like a sneaky good ending to that
No,
game.
I
It
could
it got a little interesting
No,
there.
I didn't. There was like a punt return, and then it's like Justin Fields and Bears.
Okay, don't tell me what happened in a game that you didn't even watch.
I
So,
consulted
okay.
with 12 friends.
By the way, Aaron Rodgers said that there's a small possibility he might not play on Sunday, but his
Okay.
expectation is that he will. We know that he won't be able to join the team until Saturday at the earliest. So something to track, and I'm sure there's going to be 17,000 more sound drops from that interview with McAfee. So
And you heard it here first, Splitties.
you
Trust
did. This is where you come to get your breaking news right here on Split
Definitely.
Ends. Okay,
Definitely.
shall we? Let's get into the show.
I
with
think so.
a little Thursday expose.
Oh.
I feel like I need some type of. I texted you guys yesterday, and I was like, I need some type of French bistro music, perhaps behind it, maybe an accordion. I don't know, but
it works.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. It just sounds right in my head.
It does.
A lot of things happen in my head that, as it turns out, when I voice them, they don't sound as great.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. So let's start briefly with Indianapolis. Tell me every detail.
You don't need to know every detail because the game. I like that we don't really talk about the game so much because by the time we tape this on Tuesday, it's like
that
game
was 10 years ago.
It really was a decade ago, but it was a really fun time. Joe almost choked, threw up on
I
live
saw.
television eating the St. Elmo's cocktail sauce, which it is pretty aggressive. The sauce, I'm not gonna lie, but he went all in. I actually choked on a piece of steak the night before at Harry and Izzy's. So
did you need the Heimlich or
no? I was trying to play it cool and just like drink some water. And I was like, I'll be right back, guys. And then like the third time I went to the bathroom, I was like, I'm choking on a piece of steak. I'll be right back.
It won't come out.
I also lugged a gigantic parka to Indianapolis. Never had to put it on.
It wasn't that cold or what?
No, we had some heaters going, so it wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty nice. And then we crashed the Fox Sports after party. It wasn't really an after party. It's more of like a gathering where they debrief in the conference room, and I just ate all of their pizza. I'm not like, we weren't really invited, but we just showed up
like, hey,
had 15 people, and I was like, bring some beer, guys. We're gonna go and hang out with the Fox crew.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was good. And then I took a maintenance day on Saturday.
Okay.
So I was off from Good Morning Football weekend, and I ended up going to a friend's wedding in Anaheim. It was a Greek-Persian wedding. So
Whoa.
It was super fun.
Wow.
They have a lot of really interesting traditions, a lot of dances, the Greeks do. At one point, someone, like, I don't know, they told me this is a Greek tradition.
Okay.
So let us know if you guys are Greek and
Splitties,
this happens.
let us know.
I've only seen this at one other Greek wedding, and they throw dollar bills up at the bride and groom when they're
Sounds
dancing.
like my kind of wedding.
And then there's just like dollar bills all over the floor. So they literally like just make it rain.
Were
during
you
the
picking them
reception.
up? Were you like,
I wanted to. I'm not gonna lie. And we stayed across the street from Disneyland, which I still have not gone yet.
I've never been either, and I've heard it's very nostalgic for like people that really love like film and old film. Like Orlando's huge, it's fun, whatever. But I hear Disneyland is for the real like cinemaphiles.
Oh, wow, you did it. Nailed it.
Cinephiles.
That's the landing, Tam Posey. It was great. We also had a party bus that we needed to pull over on the way to the wedding because John got nauseous.
No way. It was John's fault.
Those rides, they're a little bumpy. I can understand. I usually get car sick. I am a child, and forever growing up, my parents had to have a pot in every car that they drove in case I would get sick. And this would be like 5 minutes to the grocery store, and I'd be throwing up in a pot. So I'm still working through that. Anyway, luckily I don't get sick on planes, and I'm going to catch one tomorrow morning to Miami. Yeah, there it is. Miami. I am so excited. I had no idea that I said Miami wrong or different. Not wrong.
Not different.
Just different.
Just different. Yeah.
Until the Around the NFL podcast pointed it out to me. But I haven't been back to Miami since the Miami Super Bowl when I missed my flight the morning after the big game.
Oh my gosh.
And then sat next to Rob Ryan in the airport for a little bit and killed time. It was a very fun time.
That's amazing. Yeah, that morning after we do the post game show. I'm at the stadium till like 3 a.m. ish, and then
is that a humble brag?
That is a humble
She
brag.
works, everybody.
I
she
work
works
really
so
hard, really, really good at my job. But then I also had friends in town, so I met them at the bar after. When I get done at 3 a.m., Miami's open all night.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
that. So my flight's at like 8 a.m. So I just stayed up and I go to the airport. I'm at the airport, and you remember everyone's stories from this night. It was just such a late night, and everyone had early flights. It was crazy. So I'm sitting there, and I get in my seat, and I like put my hat down, and I'm just like cozied up or whatever. And then there was two people. It was Liz Loza and Jackie Pepper from Yahoo. And they were like, "Aren't you Ricky Hollywood?" And
Whoa,
we
you
just-
got recognized.
Recognized.
This is what the story is.
Yeah, I wanted you to know that someone noticed who I was. But then I was just literally like, I was like, "Hey guys, like, yeah," because they were friends with Wes, and like we just got to talking, and so they knew who I was from ATN or whatever. And I was like, I'm in the window seat, and I'm like, I'm so sick, and it's really nice to meet you guys, but I really just like I gotta go. And they were like, "Oh, where do you gotta go?" And I was like, I really gotta go.
Super Bowl week is like Survivor.
Oh my God.
And by the time Sunday rolls around, everyone's in terrible shape. And it's not because everyone's just partying.
No. It's just like you're working super weird hours, late into the night, early mornings.
Everybody
like,
feel bad for us.
yeah, it's super tough covering the Super Bowl, you guys. You don't understand.
I know, we sound ridiculous.
I never get it.
I love the Super Bowl. I love being able to go to the game. This year it's in Los Angeles, so we don't even have to leave town.
I hate that.
What?
I love leaving town.
No,
You're
I'm good. I am good. I can't wait to put my suitcase away. But in terms of this game,
I forgot
spicy.
about that.
Ravens Dolphins. Should we talk about football for like 1 second here?
Dolphins.
When I was
Jesus.
watching the Ravens, I was a little worried that the TNF curse was going to strike again. But Lamar Jackson to the rescue. This was a really good game. I mean, you can never count him out. Down by 14 to the Vikings, threw 3 touchdowns, ran for over 100. This guy gets it, man. He just gets it. Right?
Yeah, he does.
Stop it. Wake
I'm
up.
just like, I'm awake. It's just the Dolphins. Like, with all this stuff, the Deshaun Watson, Tua, then he's out. He didn't play. Like, it's just, backup court? Like, I just don't want to watch Jacoby Brissett.
Okay. So this is called not selling the game. And that's not the business I'm in.
Okay.
I am ready for Tua to come back. He's dealing with a finger fracture.
Okay.
A lot of finger
You know the
injuries.
finger fracture
I
game.
know it well, let me tell you. So we'll see if he's back.
All right,
sometime.
sell me.
Okay.
Thursday night.
I love how scrappy this Ravens team is.
God.
They should not be winning so many of these games that they are winning.
But
and
they do.
Lamar Jackson, he's doing more with less than any other quarterback probably in the league.
Probably.
And the way with all of the injuries, he's down his top 3 running backs. He was down. I mean, you could just like go across the roster. There have been injuries at the wide receiver position, and yet he is still coming into this game. I guess week 9. This is going to be week 10 coming up? Yeah.
Week 10.
So going into week 9, Lamar Jackson was averaging the most offensive yards per game. So he was just like putting the whole team on his back. I love it. And the only thing I would love to see is the Ravens. I need them to jump out to a quicker start than they've been doing. They have just started so slow all season long, and then the past 6 games, you look at what they've done in the first quarter, they've only scored 24 points. So we'll see if that changes against the Dolphins. Yes, it is the Dolphins, but hey, I'm excited.
No, I mean, all these Thursday night games have ended up being really exciting. Even the Jets, with everything that went on last week, I think this week could be exciting. And I hope the Dolphins, play up to their level. And I hope the Ravens. I'm very excited. You did your job. I'm sold.
Yeah, look
I'm
at that.
sold.
Okay.
And I'm gonna watch the whole game, the whole thing.
The whole thing?
And you know what? Can I tell you something?
What?
I always watch the games and the halftime and the post-game show because I like to watch you.
Oh, I'm not on the halftime unless it's an exclusive, but thank you for watching.
Well, I
noticing.
just
Thanks
watched
for noticing, Clark.
I watch like a little blonde and I'm like, hey, Colleen's great at this.
It's like Erin Andrews, and she's very tall.
I'm like, that's my buddy.
Okay, here we go. Let's get into some headlines. We're going to blaze through these headliners with a little hot or not. You ready, Ricky?
Oh, I'm so ready for this. This is my favorite part of the show.
And we start in Detroit. Lions were on a bye, but I can't bypass this. Dan Campbell and the Lions took a shovel out to physically bury the tape of their heinous loss to the Eagles.
This is not hot. Let's stop with all these metaphors and just win a ball game.
Wait, was it like a memorial service? Like, because I would have written the eulogy. If they needed someone. Okay, go ahead.
Moving on. After the Eagles loss, a fan threw a bouquet of flowers at head coach Nick Sirianni. Hot or not?
Hot AF. I laughed and laughed and laughed. It's disrespectful, but so is losing to the Chargers. So
Okay.
hot. Okay, here we go. Right, I understand pacing.
Yeah, do you?
I know it's my turn now.
Okay.
Next up, Succession Season 3 on Sunday nights. Best season yet.
Hot. Yes, this season is by far the best. Every week I'm wondering, are they going to jail? What's going on? You got to watch it. Got to tune in.
I don't know if I can trust your judgment after the White Lotus take.
Okay, next one. Raiders add wide receiver Deshaun Jackson from the Rams.
I've seen this movie before, and the ending, it's a little meh. Some might say it's a little trash. All right, less of a headline, more of a payoff.
Okay.
We mentioned this last pod, but the Manningcast curse, it lives! Josh Allen sacking Josh Allen, then intercepting Josh Allen, then recovering a fumble from Josh Allen.
That's a double hot for me, fan. Double T, double hot.
Oh.
Hot, H-O-T-T. Oh, my God. This was awesome. And we have someone who's coming on a little bit later who really loves this.
That's a tease, everybody.
Oh, yeah. All right. Next, Russell.
We're going to get it. We're going to figure it out.
We got it. Okay. My favorite. Bill Belichick's pregame fit against the Panthers.
Oh, you know it's hot. That's how I prefer to spend every single minute I'm off camera. I walk around the house in that exact outfit
There you
that Bill
go.
Belichick was wearing. So it's so hot.
Okay.
Sunday night, Paris Hilton was back gracing my screen from the stands at SoFi Stadium with a rock the size of SoFi Stadium, watching Stafford throw 2 picks and lose to the Titans, 28-16.
You ready for this?
That's hot.
That is hot. Boom. Okay. Get that Paris Hilton ref?
Yeah,
Get that?
I got it. We
All right.
got it.
Next, Russell Wilson posted a video of his hand recovery and is being cleared to play next week against Green Bay.
Cool, but not hot.
Okay.
Killer production value, though, on that video, though it's kind of on my radar.
Okay.
A little bit. And
to know.
I think we're going to talk to Sessler about that. I
Definitely.
gotta bring that up. Lastly, Woj Bomb, NBA All-Star Deron Williams is fighting longtime NFL running back Frank Gore in a 40-round heavyweight? No,
Four.
it's got to be 4. Wait a 40 round.
Frank Gore could probably go 40 rounds because he's like been doing this for so long. He's like got his cane and he's like, I got this 40 rounds. Okay, Colleen. 4 round.
He brings his lunch pail into the ring. I don't watch any fight. I don't know. Is it wrestling?
Whenever you
fighting?
fight, you bring your lunch
Boxing.
pail. 4-round heavyweight undercard. Jake Paul and Tommy Fury on December 18th. Frank Gore's too old for this. It is not hot, people, okay? Jake Paul, way not hot. The whole Paul brother, I'm over it. I'm so done with it. Not hot, but maybe we should do a live split ends from Tampa that weekend.
Oh.
Covering the fight?
Well, I gotta go back to Florida again.
Yeah, you might have to.
I love Miami. Miami's my favorite. Tampa, I could skip.
All right.
I don't know why I'm giving heat to Tampa.
Yeah,
I don't actually have
throwing
a huge
balls.
take on Tampa. All right. It is time, everybody. Let's welcome in our friend, fellow podcaster from the Around the NFL podcast. He's an absolute legend. We love him so much. They call him the Quiet Storm, and we will too. Mark Sessler.
Sessler.
Bomb. Sessler, what's up?
Listen,
That's how I professionally welcome guests in.
Hey.
I feel welcomed.
Thank you.
That was red carpet treatment.
Yeah.
I was listening to the show back there and very engaging. Kind of at times, in a good way, veers towards a hot gossip rag. There was a lot of I didn't know what the direction of the show was, and it was delightful. So,
That's
Wait,
it.
you haven't listened to every episode?
well,
He hangs on our
you
every
know,
word.
for someone that's watching Colleen during halftime, I'm probably at that level of observation. There, so,
I never miss a Colleen Wolfe halftime show, ever.
Oh, all right. So before we get to what's on your radar, because I've been looking forward to this segment since we started talking about having a podcast.
Right.
I was like, we need to get Sessler on immediately.
So about 4 weeks ago.
Yes,
Okay.
it's just been a month, but I knew that it was going to hit. So before we get to your radar, though, I have some pressing questions about the week ahead with some of the big games. So I'm going to do a little week 10 radar. And listen, this is nothing that you need any prep for.
Good.
Okay? So, but I do need what is happening in your brain when I ask you these questions.
Okay, I'll keep concise. You want concise?
No, I mean, do
Okay.
what feels right. You're in a Hawaiian
Yeah.
shirt.
Okay.
Just
Well,
live your life.
listen, we're just figuring all of this out as we go.
Yeah.
That's
That
what this
that
podcast is about.
One can tell. Yes.
Okay, here we go. Seahawks in Green Bay. Russ's mallet finger is ready to hammer the Packers. Rodgers can't return to the team until Saturday at the earliest, which we talked about at the top of the show. Watch GMFB Weekend for the latest. That's a plug. So, could be Jordan Love, could be Rodgers, who is 4-0 against Wilson at Lambeau. But Sessler, the real question here is, does Russell Wilson have the all-time greatest middle finger?
Wow.
You know?
It's up there. I would say you'd have to. Let's start in NFL circles. It's a very strong middle finger inside that circle. But I've had many people, not so much recently, but in the past, extend their middle finger to me. In some cases, I'm offended, but in some cases, Erica's doing it right now. I don't like that at all. In some cases, it's kind of like, I like that energy that you're bringing. So I've liked lots of different middle fingers. Russell Wilson's is a high point football-wise. Help me out of here. Get me out of this. What happened to me
This
here?
is exactly where I wanted you. He's one of the great healers, the all-time great healers, according to Pete Carroll.
That was the angle. You were not going actually what it looks like so much.
No.
Oh, I thought you were saying, does it look like one of the best middle fingers? That's where my head went.
Okay, I mean,
but
aesthetically.
that's the great part about this segment. You could take it wherever you want.
Side note, Colleen says that when people give her the middle finger while she's driving, she just gives them the thumbs up and smiles. And I actually tried that the other day because I was merging onto the highway, and someone was really mad that I didn't go in time, and he was like on my ASS the whole time. I think I could say that, but I'm driving down the highway and I can see him in my rear view. This guy's mad. And he pulls over to the right of me and he buzzes up and then he slows down and he gives me the big finger, and I just start waving and I just start smiling and waving, and the guy was so mad, and I was like, "That's a wolf for you."
That look that you just gave us was like shades of psychotic behavior.
Yeah,
so I think he'd get off.
I think I ruined his whole day.
That's exactly what I go for. If anyone flips me off, you guys should try it out there. Next time somebody flips you off, give them the thumbs up and a smile and just watch what happens, because they will just
I have
kind
to
of crazy.
feel like the two of you are doing something to generate that behavior on the highway.
Doesn't happen a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first time in like years.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Sunday Night Football in Vegas. I have trust issues with the Chiefs, and I don't know which direction the Raiders will go from here. But I do love when they play each other, because we got a Raiders victory lap with the buses circling Arrowhead last year. Any level of petty, I am all in on. So, Sessler, do Raiders fans think you hate them too? Because they keep score with me, and they are the fan base that ends up in my timeline the most, more so than the Titans fans 2 years ago when I disrespected them. We worked through that, but now it's Raiders fans.
100%, because we do this. We're in that pick thing where like they like to screen capture the minute the team you picked lost. By the way, like half the ones I picked are losses, so this happens weekly. And like the Raiders, who I've been kind of cool on them, and they've had a hotter start than I expected, and they come out in droves, and they're not coming at you with like soft little friendly darts. Like they're dropping bombs on you, like, you suck, you're not smart, your children aren't smart, your wife isn't smart. It's like they're very personal, and so yes, I feel you on that.
Oddly
personal.
It's so bad. It's
accurate
like,
in some cases,
you have a really, really horrible haircut, you dumbass, and it's like, oh, I just like picked a game.
Oh, I've
People
started
get very
picking them
upset.
every week though, because it's taken that subset of people. They're not complimenting me either, but they're out of my headspace. So they're going, 9-0 down the stretch.
So they bullied you into your picks.
I was bullied
a little bit.
I was bullied.
I feel that way too.
Yeah, I was bullied, and it compromised my integrity. So.
All right, I'm excited to see who your pick is for this week in that game. How about this one? The Sessler-Tamposi Bowl in Foxy Town, Browns and Patriots. Guys, this game, it's important. So in the AFC, tiebreakers can be backbreakers. That's the way that's the
what
saying
they always
goes.
say.
Everyone
They've been
says
saying
it.
that for
everyone.
As
ages.
Aristotle once said.
Browns running back Nick Chubb, he's a maniac. Denzel Ward, the warden, he got his first pick of the
Nick
season.
Chubb with COVID right now too.
Exactly.
So who knows?
Right.
And there's been some more additions to that list as well. Something to keep your eye on.
There's a lot of things that will change probably throughout the week too. But Cleveland's defense could be jonesing for a Mac. I wrote this last night. That doesn't even make sense. It was after the Bears-Steelers game. Anyway, Sessler, where do you anticipate your annoyance level to be when watching this game surrounded by NFL Network employees?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It's like it's going to be – I already can tell. Number one, I can feel the energy going in the wrong direction on this game. For Cleveland to win this, their season is on fire suddenly, because it's like we've rebranded ourselves as post-Odell. That nonsense is out the shelf.
Speaking of, we got a little breaking news.
Hit it.
Odell Beckham Jr. has prioritized the Packers as his #1 destination should he clear waivers, per sources.
He and Aaron Rodgers. That's a spicy combination. What could go wrong?
I have
what
no
could
idea.
possibly go wrong?
So yeah, pick the. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
Odell's
I'm
gone.
just reeling
Odell
from
is
that. He's
gone,
gone.
and he's not on the Browns.
But then
Mark.
2 days later, like Erica injects Nick Chubb with like the second round of the coronavirus, and the entire running back room is out. And I feel that I will be very annoyed come Sunday. Yes, I would probably be annoyed even if they win. So it's like it will just be much.
Yeah,
double or triple.
I'm excited for this game. I'm not excited for all the talk that's been around Mac Jones grabbing, his ankle and that whole thing, which was a dirty play. He was, he thought he had the ball, which is fine, but I'm kind of over that narrative. I'm ready to put that behind us.
Well, I'm glad that you are.
Yeah.
That's Patriots football, though, so it's like expect more of the same. Tripping, you're going to trip Browns players next, and you're going to be giggling about it, Erica?
I'm going to take you out.
Shots fired!
You're going to be
week 10, baby!
in the dumpster of NFL Network.
I love it. All right, the 7-2 Titans are running the AFC, just knocked off the Rams without their king, Derrick Henry. Only 195 total yards of offense, though, but that's cool because a win is a win, guys. The Saints somehow lost to the Falcons. That pesky Cordero Patterson at it again, up to his old tricks. That's on my radar, by the way, when people say that. Trevor Siemian showed some life in the fourth. Maybe Taysom Hill gets more involved this week. Sessler, better city, New Orleans or Nashville?
Well, I'm going to go New Orleans because I've never been to Nashville. So
What?
I don't travel as much as I would like.
Hey, can we have a sound effect that says "loser alert"?
Wow.
I think actually I remember Erica went to a Patriots-Titans game and skipped a weekend of intense work back at the office to go watch that occur. So I'm someone that doesn't just bounce from city to city at my leisure during the football season.
Hey,
how do you feel
I
about
was
that?
on the boots on the ground, investigative reporting, watching the Titans beat the Patriots.
I don't remember a shred of business coming out of that trip on any level by you.
This is my favorite. I love having Sessler here. I love that this is a therapy session, basically.
Yeah,
For one of us.
we really do love each other, you guys. I promise. You'll find them in the dumpster.
Rams,
Do not put me
Niners, Monday Night Football, NFC West edition. San Francisco got smacked by the Cardinals with Colt McCoy and no DeAndre Hopkins. Woof. And the Rams, they lost to those aforementioned Titans in their own building. Now with extra time to marinate in the loss since it's on Monday against a Niners team that I'm not even mad at. I'm just like straight disappointed
I'm
in
so over
at
them.
this point.
Yeah.
So it feels like a layup for the Rams. Sessler, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. Which coach would you rather hang with at a house party?
Well, it's smart to go pro Rams on any one of these questions because I have a boss in the building. I feel like I have multiple bosses, but the Rams also often feel like if I disobey them, something bad will happen to me soon down the road.
In the dumpster.
So, yeah, I'm going Sean McVay. Yeah, exactly. Like,
Where's this dumpster? Do you have like a personal dumpster?
No,
outside
it's
that
the
you
loading
just-
dock. You go down under the studios. There's a big loading dock. You just use your badge, buzzes open, and then you'll find Sessler.
And it's such a new complex that you could eat out of. It's a clean dumpster.
Yeah,
still at
so
this
I
point,
mean,
Have you been there?
Have you been? I've put him in the dumpster
yeah,
a
I
few
mean,
times.
This is
I'm the bully
old
around
school.
NFL Network. I give Mark wedgies, and then I bring him to the dumpster.
Like I have like a 200 page long file that I'm about to PDF and send to HR, and you'll never see Erica again.
This is why I love Sessler here because it protects me from Tamposi.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking the
empathize
bullet.
with you even taking this project on, to be honest.
It is a project, everybody, and we love it. Make sure you tell all of your friends about it. Subscribe, rate, all that good stuff.
Won't take Erica long.
All right, here we go. How about Sessler? Now that we've gotten through the Week 10 big games there on the radar, what's on your personal radar? Because I know that there are some things orbiting around you that you just need to talk about.
Well, it's funny because I don't like to sit at a computer when I think about the things that annoy me. I just lie down somewhere on a floor and just see what arrives. And this is the first thing that happened. This thing that I keep seeing, and it didn't just show up this last week. It's been around for about 2+ years, if not longer. But when you, a girl A on Instagram takes a series of glamour shots of herself in some pre-manufactured garden that is not her house, but she's somewhere, and it's well, I could get into it, but I will say that she's basically, she'll write a little message I've just decided to take a little bit of me time and focus on points of self-reflection. And then girl B responds I love that for you. That that thing, that terminology, and by the way, it gets a lot worse because that's all over the place. It's highly annoying. It never is not annoying. So it's not like, hey, I found someone that used it in a way that delights me. It's never that. But then when it gets even worse is people now saying, I love that for me. Like like the girl now would just put a picture of herself in the garden saying, I love that for me. Can we possibly pump the brakes on some of this nonsense? We often on our show eradicate and eliminate phrases from society that just make us look a little too absurd, and this is out.
Okay.
It's
so
gone.
it's more about the phrase and less about the photos of like the series of photos.
Oh, that's just one of that's the one setup where you could see it happening. In fact, I was struggling to come up with like the perfect setup because it's never perfect. It's never like that phrase fits with that girl A in the garden and girl B dropping, I love that for you. It's like, no, none of this fits. Blow it up, drop a nuclear bomb on the whole dialogue.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to write that on every single thing.
No, okay, so we're getting rid of that. I love that for us. What else is on your radar?
See, exactly. All right. Well, it's a football show occasionally, so I'm going to go down football road. And I'm not trying to rip on this person because, clothing as guys, I think it's a struggle. Like what happened to capes. What happened to things that were adventurous?
What happened to capes?
Well, especially if you're a football coach.
Says the guy in the Hawaiian shirt.
Well, I'm trying, and it's not.
I love it. I love a Hawaiian shirt.
I love that for you.
How about this for that?
No, she's not
see,
gonna
why
stop.
did I open this scenario?
I
Vic,
know.
how about Vic Fangio? Vic Fangio is he is already a grumpy man. I once interviewed him at those like Super Bowl round tables where it's like he was sitting alone. He was the Niners defensive coordinator. I was like, this guy's unsung. Like he's a future head coach. I know that. I can see that. I'm going to sit down and talk with him. And I thought this is a chance to write a story on him, and Vic Fangio would be very, affable. He could not have been grumpier with me, but I like that. That part of it is not on my radar because he is not changed. He is still very grumpy.
But you said nobody was around him when you went over to him?
For some reason,
That's probably why.
It was probably, he was like, I'm getting some alone time, and here comes this like 5'8" loser asking me a bunch of like bullet points about the Niners
Hit
defense.
the loser alert drop again.
It was also it was also Friday, so everyone had already done that story. So I was not even breaking. It was just like check a box, get a blog out there. All the management people
Super
back
Bowl
in.
week is so difficult, though,
Right.
because, like, everyone is out of ideas, out of stories.
Right.
You've talked about everything just, like, until your brain is melting through your ears.
It's just Fane. It started the week explosively interesting, but by the time you get to Friday or Saturday, it's like just stand up in clothing and get through the day and make sure you get on the plane. But here is actually I'll tell you what annoys me about Vic Fangio, or something that he is struggling with. His wardrobe, and maybe you can insert photos down the stretch. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's like the Belichick thing with the up the leg. That's cute because it's Belichick, but it's like when you have like multiple Super Bowls, you can dress that way. Fangio has got like this kind of oversized sweatshirt, sweatpants thing going on with like a woman's belt. Well, I don't know, some sort of belt around him with like a giant fanny pack, which I assume has got radio equipment and other things in it. I just would like maybe, this is a game as a head coach where you've got to be checking all the boxes. You've got to present yourself in a way. And I just think that maybe he could use a little bit of help on that front. And every time I see him, the wardrobe goes a little bit further off the cliff. So I become concerned.
What happened to the days of Tom Landry getting all dressed up on the sidelines? Maybe Vic Fangio should just throw a hat on. Leave the rest, but then just throw a hat on, like a gentleman's cap. I don't know what's cap.
I think that would cause like so much wonderful confusion that I would love to see that.
I'm into that. I like that. I like that journey for him and for us. 1,000%. Do you have something on your radar, Erica?
I mean, it kind of was that Mac Jones kind of discourse going there. But, what's on my radar when it's, not football related is that fanny pack in the UK means something fanny means something completely different in the UK.
Does. Yeah,
and our listeners on ATN, on Split Ends, will let us know that they die laughing on the tube whenever they hear us say fanny pack.
Because I love a fanny pack.
Of course you do.
You know?
I mean,
you can put so much inside of fanny packs, and then you just
fit.
No hands needed.
And when you find out what it
right
means,
around you.
when you learn what it means, like fanny pack does not make it. That sounds aggressive.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah.
There's a lot happening there.
Yeah. Do you have anything else on your radar?
Wait, I have one.
Okay.
Yes, I did not mean to go 3 times.
No.
in a row, so
Because I know that you have you have a lot to unpack from the fanny pack, the grievances fanny pack. But I, driving over here, realized, it's something that has always been on my radar since moving out here to Los Angeles is vanity plates. I've never seen so many vanity plates in my life. It has to be the most densely populated area of vanity plates in the entire United States. And the woman that was driving in front of me, I was trying to sound out the vanity plate, and I'm pretty sure it was Whip 1, and she was driving a Jag. And so, yeah,
I love that for you.
I just kept wondering to myself, what goes through some people's minds when they decide to get a vanity plate? Because I'm not going to lie, out here.
Specifically hers.
Well, no,
specifically that one, for sure. But out here, I love the black and yellow plate. It's a specialty plate. It's really, I would get that, but then just not get a special.
You wouldn't have,
Connie Fox or something. No.
Wolf.
There's a wolf.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, you only get 7 letters. So I've tried. Ricky
I know
Hall.
Erica's explored
Ricky
this. That's the
Hall
thing that's
is I can only get so many. Erica T, that just looks like Ericat. Can't do that.
No, that's not.
You know what I mean? So it's a tough game. But yeah, you're right. Also, if we're talking, really specific to LA, which it could be happening in other places, in Inglewood, they started putting these massive billboards with moving video. There's a Clifford billboard, and it's video of the I'm like, this is so dangerous. I'm driving and I'm looking up at this huge billboard, and it's moving. It's it's a video. That shouldn't be legal.
Wow.
That's when you're getting the
really
middle finger.
Yeah, that is on my radar. That, and if they
standing on the table against moving video billboard.
Colleen
is Erica Tamposi.
I can only drive and watch movies so much. You know what I mean? I don't need to see Clifford in 70 feet tall.
I thought it was really weird that Baker Mayfield was on a billboard on the side of the 405 by the airport out here in LA. And I understand he does all of the commercials. And yes, that gets a lot of people going in general for separate reasons. But I just thought it was kind of interesting because it is close to SoFi Stadium. He's a Cleveland Browns quarterback. We're in Los Angeles. Just felt a little out of place. And that was distracting.
Yeah. And then it popped up in our group thread where it was one night I caught up, it's 18 people driving verbal arrows into the chest of Baker Mayfield. I'm like, do I stand up for him at all? It's I also don't think he should be on a sign or a moving sign out in L.A. I was like, oh, he's going to be back in February for the Super Bowl. It's no, he's not. So I don't, there was no argument.
Aaron, what do you think about vanity plates?
Yeah, I don't have a strong feeling on vanity plates, but I do like hearing all of Ricky's choices and her thought process of what would be her vanity plate.
Yeah.
So, and I also just appreciate Clifford getting in the podcast for the second week in a row.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I talked about Clifford
it's
last
Clifford podcast now. We're getting messages that this is the best Squid Game podcast going.
And they sometimes talk about football.
Well, what are you, what is the marketing, what is the brand strategy here?
Well, Sessler, we're still trying to figure that out.
We're the best show out there.
I'm enjoying listening to you talk while
I think
I'm
it's more part of the journey. Getting to the destination doesn't matter. It's just how you get there.
That's a good self-pitch for you, I think. That helps you, I think, to get
All right,
through
Sessler, give us one more before we hit our split end.
One more. All right. Well, can I give you two bullet ones real fast, no analysis? I am very jealous that Colleen gets to hang out with Troy Aikman on a weekly basis. I imagine the friendship is probably growing, and we're completely left out in that.
Him and Joe Buck, they're great guys. What I find really interesting, I read in Peter King's column last week that Joe Buck, when he's doing all of these crazy schedules that he has with the World Series and Thursday night and all of the games, what he does to preserve his voice is he gets hot water and lemon, and then he dissolves 2 Blue Hall's cough drops in this mixture and drinks it all at once. And I was thinking about trying it, but also it sounds real nasty.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hall's the menthol.
Yeah, because it's throat
with the
coat.
lemon. It might not be that bad, but I personally like the taste of cough drops. Splitties, let us know what you think.
Oh, God, gross. Okay. All right, what else you got?
Could have learned that from his dad. The last one, because we're back in the office, and I couldn't be. It's fantastic that we are. It's so wonderful to be back together, as they say. But I am having a good time here. It's a wonderful building. But you get caught in this scenario sometimes. This is not happening in my house. Like the last year and a half, you get killed behind like a slow walker, where there's also someone like coming the other way, where you can't do the rude thing where you pass, and like I don't know how they don't know that I'm like a foot behind them, like wanting to push their torso forward. So I'll do. Here's
they
what
should feel your energy.
I'm sure it would be annoying for them to see how annoyed I am, but I'll just like take my phone and pretend to do like a figure 8 and circle back around and be on a phone call, because it's like I need to get them go be where you need to be, and then I'll start walking again, because this is decompressing my mental health from the start.
We are so similar, because
I knew you would like that.
I feel you on a spiritual level with this in airports.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
especially if somebody just decides that they're on a mission. We're all walking. We're all trying to get to our gate, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they just stop in the middle of basically a thoroughfare. And I'm a small person, and I have a lot of luggage with wheels. I have momentum going. I need some lead time to press the brakes.
Sure.
I almost took a woman out last week. So that is firmly on my radar.
See, imagine traveling with someone. Jet, my girlfriend, is very much likes to look around, likes to take it in, likes to be there early. Like, we went to the stadium. We went to the Pats game last weekend. And I am like zigzagging around people. I don't have time for this BS. Like, I want to get to my seats and I want to be there. And Jet's like, oh, that's a nice like billboard, or that's a pretty sign. And I like want to put her on a leash, like for those little kids, and drag her through the state and the airport too. I'm like,
you often
you sound like a blast.
She was a flight attendant. You know what I mean? You should know how to navigate the airport. And it's like, oh, like, should we get a cup of coffee? Should we do that? And I'm like, what?
The yin and yang of Erica and Jet. That's why you guys work. It's a beautiful thing. Sessler, since you're such a big fantasy guy, I'm going to have you stick around for this last section. One final question. Hit it, Aaron.
Ooh. When those drums come in, it can only mean one thing. It's time for the split end of the week. Hit me with the saxophone.
Oh, that's Aaron.
That's real nice.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
I actually had him record a whole list of songs that he sings to me that I play on my iPod Touch. I got an old one. And it's all versions of Aaron singing like, Erica, time to go to sleep now.
And she listens to it like when she watches movies instead of listening to the audio from movies.
100%.
It's just Aaron.
It's Aaron narrating and dubbing. He does all the voices for all my movies.
Very disturbing. I like it though, and he has a great head of hair. I don't know if anyone's seen it, like the splitties.
Me and him
Endies.
connect over yoga, and Colleen's like, get me out of this group text.
I can't do hot yoga. I hate it. That's not the split end of the week, though. No. Maybe later.
Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, so there was this tweet that came out. Who tweeted it?
Sam Farmer.
Sam Farmer, okay, from LA Times.
Yep.
And said that he talked to Cooper Kupp's dad, and he had some bad news. The guys in his fantasy league are no longer going to allow him to draft his son as a courtesy. So Craig Kupp will have to compete for him next season. Should Craig be able to have Cooper on his team because he made him?
Well, yeah, it seems like there'd be some innate rights, or ditch this group of friends and like come in as a newbie with a new group of friends. This sounds like that time when the intersection in life where that friend group needs to go down the river.
See, I'm split on this. Cooper Kupp is like such an incredible fantasy asset. Just because you're his dad doesn't mean you get him. That's like going to be winning leagues. You know? Or give it to him last. Like, give him the last pick and give him Cooper Kupp. But don't let the other people in the league.
The he made him, co-made him part of it is compelling, though, by
right?
Colleen. I think.
Listen, if he really can take a lot of credit for what Cooper Kupp is doing because it's not just Cooper. There's genetics involved. He's very athletic. So I don't know. I would say that he should be able to it's basically a dynasty league, especially having a child is like being in a dynasty league forever. That's
yes,
what
it is.
That's why I don't have a child.
Yeah,
it also
exactly
sounds
why.
sort of like a fake story. I'm not saying it is. I'm sure it's totally accurate, but I doubt that this group of friends have like come down this hard on Mr. Cup or whatever he.
Yeah.
Craig Cup.
Craig Cup. Well, I
Cup.
only know him as Mr. Cup. We're not on a first.
All right, so
basis.
Splitties, let us know what side of the split end you come down on. Should he be able to draft him or not? And before we get out of here, I have something special that I wanted to share with you two.
Ooh.
So I came in today and there was a massive package on my desk.
Was it a fanny pack?
Oh, here I am. It was not a fanny pack. But so
this also means something different, England.
Yeah. So I come in and there's this teddy bear.
Okay.
And there are.
It says my first teddy on
and
here.
there are
AFL.
2 jackets.
Whoa.
2 jackets here that I'm
They're
giving to you.
they're heavy jackets.
Very
too.
big down
They're
jackets.
warm.
And there is a letter that I want to read you. And it says Erica and Colleen.
Okay.
Okay? Erica and Colleen.
All right.
And Mark, this is.
Would you like to touch the jacket, Mark?
Wonderful texture.
Dear Erica and Colleen, please find enclosed some Aussie swag from a grateful fan. AFL jackets for yourselves, one of my favorite team, the Carlton Blues, and one of my son's favorite team, the Geelong Cats.
I'm taking the Cats.
I've also included a teddy bear for Link. It's the team that reps Tassie in the AFL, the Hawthorn Hawks. I've been a huge fan of the ATN podcast since mid-2016 when my son Sam told me to check out this awesome NFL podcast. In May 2019, I was diagnosed with blood cancer and commenced chemo in June that year. Luckily, we caught it early, and I'm now in remission. I took enormous strength from West throughout my treatment right up to my last chemo injection in November 2020. The ATN podcast during and in between chemo were the highlights of each and every week. I vividly remember having to pull the car over driving home from work late last year when Wes said on the pod something like, chemo was finished and they were just managing the pain. I was crying so much I couldn't see well enough to drive. I knew what that statement meant. Kind of weird how people you have never met can really impact you, even when you are 52 years old. I've had tears in my eyes many times since when you guys talk and remember Wes. If you, too, or any boys ever make it over to the land of Oz, and in particular Tassie, hit me up and we'll blow the froth off a few coldies. Please say good day to Dan, Mark, and Greg for me. Kind regards and best wishes, Phil Randall.
Phil!
Isn't
Oh
that
my
amazing?
God,
Sent you and I these jackets, and I texted Lakeisha. It's actually her birthday
Happy
today.
birthday,
Yes,
Lakeisha!
exactly.
And she's actually out of the office today, but
I just know what she is in here.
well, she's going to get her hair done.
I jumped out from behind the security booth to surprise her when she walked out.
What?
It's her
Phil,
birthday.
this was so sweet. And I didn't think that I was ever going to almost cry on this podcast.
Right?
But
I
that letter
got it. I
was
had no
just
idea,
so
Phil.
nice.
That was amazing. These 2 jackets are incredible. I thought it was like so touching that it sent it to us, and maybe he just didn't want to get like 4 jackets. You know, he's like, I'll send it to
It's
the
a
girls.
discount for split ends.
Yeah. there's
Why
2.
did you have to take it in that direction?
Well, no. I mean, I love these jackets, Colleen, and I love it. This teddy bear for Link is adorable, and the Aussie fans, the AFL, Australian Football League, that's awesome.
Let's go to Australia.
I will tell you, number one, Phil, that's amazing what you said about all these people that like reached out to us saying that, over the years, by the way, I have been like texting with Wes about this issue or that issue. It's like he was as generous as anyone, as I know, as reaching out and caring about the listeners. I've been to Australia. I've been to I lived in King's Cross, which Phil will know about. I think they've gone through some sort of renovation, but when I was there, it was a spicy area of town, I will tell you that much. And that's where we could maybe all hang out.
That would be fun.
Phil, that letter was really,
So
really
touching.
sweet. Every time that anyone, when we talk about Wes, I immediately I just kind of fill up with emotion, and it's still pretty raw.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to just say to anyone out there who is fighting anything, but especially cancer, that we're thinking about you. We're sending you our love and our strength. And I'm sure and I know that Wes is watching down all over you, and especially you, Phil, for this
Yeah, Phil, that was incredible.
amazing gift. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
We
Wonderful.
will wear these jackets with pride.
We will. Maybe on a TNF even.
Ooh.
We'll see. So you guys out there, that's it for us. For Split Ends this week, make sure you subscribe, tell your friends, rate us, rank us. I don't know, whatever you do with podcasts, do it. You can find
Swipe
it on
right
all
on us.
yeah, I still don't know. Like that was before my time or after my time.
Yeah, no.
Well,
after
hopefully
your time.
after. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just.
I don't know which one is like you're saying yes.
Swipe
to it.
right is yes. Swipe left is no. Maybe next week instead of hot or not.
Oh
you
yeah,
can
let's do
swipe
that.
right.
I
Swipe
will
left.
mess it up a zillion times. That's awesome. Until next week, everybody. Let's split.